Welcome back. It is 1595. We are getting so close to 1600. So exciting. In the last one, Luke had an affair with Marie and got her pregnant, but we also had our daughter Isabella be born. Also, Gwendolyn got eloped with Magdalena and they left the household. Genevieve and Zechariah are trying to make it work, but he is obviously still hung up on Constance and she is still hung up on him. So all of that is going on. This year, we have a few birthdays. We have our little Isabella becoming an infant. She can't get an 8 or a 16. Please, Isabella. She survived. Miles Hobart, the second, can't get a 7 or a 13. He survived. Will he get married? No, no marriage for you. Gilbert Whitehead is becoming a young adult. No 3 or 18. He survived. Actually, he should be getting married then. Gilbert. Who should he marry? Maybe Charlotte. Yeah, let's do that. Because it's not like he's having kids anyway. She's a little older, but I think that would be fine. Let me make a note of that. Gilbert and Charlotte. Okay. And then Joanna Waldrick is becoming an adult. She has to get at least a 7, which she did. And then Bennett Crookshank is doing his end of life role. Bennett, you have lived for so long and you'll be dying in 2 years. Bennett Crookshank died. Okay. As for our townies, 1595, I think I'm going to start rolling for townies as well, just because I know that we are getting so close to leaving for America, and I really want to cut down the population before we do that, as I don't want to have to keep track of so many Sims that we leave behind. So we have 2 young adults, Clarice Brigg, and, oh my gosh, Zechariah, what if he died? Okay. No 3 or 18. Oh my gosh. Okay, they both survived. And then William, he died in the plague. Go away. Okay, Edith becoming an adult, which is at least a 7. I'm not going to roll for adult part 2s. And then the little baby William can't get a 7, 14, or 19. I remember that one. Okay. So I guess everyone's surviving anyway. But I thought that it would be good to start rolling for them just so that we can really start cutting back on the number of Sims we're going to have to take to America. So anyway, let's hop into the game. All right, so as a surprise to no one, we're still having relationship problems, but they're doing their best for right now. I mean, what else can we do? So, we are also going to age up the baby. So Isabella is now an infant, and she is super cute. Of course she is. I mean, she's our baby, right? So of course she's adorable, and we are going to just spend a little bit of time with her. I think that, Luke is focusing a little bit more on family right now. But anyway, we are going to quickly get Gilbert married. So I'm just going to age him up, and then we can do that in the Manage Worlds menu, because we also have some stuff we have to do at the other household, which is why I just wanted to age up the baby and then head over back to the other Larkin household so that we could do some stuff there. So first, I'm just going to get a picture of little Isabella, and then we're going to marry Gilbert and Charlotte, and then we're going to update the family tree and, all that stuff. So it's pretty good stuff. And there she is. Honestly, she's a little old for him, but that's okay. We're just, gonna go with who we've got, and he's not having any kids anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So here they are. She actually already had some children when she was younger. She probably doesn't want to have any more kids. She probably does not want that. So here she is now, Charlotte Whitehead, and we are going to then head over to this family. So here we are, just updating the family tree, and yeah, then we're going to head back to our Nicholas's household. So what we have here is dealing with Genevieve and her stuff. So I wanted to focus on that next because she's got, a lot going on. So here we are. We can't see her. Of course, we can't see her. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a Harvest Fest day because, it's the holiday. We might as well do it. Also, it's too early to invite Zechariah over because he won't come over at this time. So that is totally fine. And then once, we've done all this stuff, then we can invite him over because the timing will be right. But let's just take care of the gnomes really quick, get everybody's holiday checklist all situated and feeling good. So there'll be that. And then, someone baked this really fancy cake, but nobody ate any of it. Sorry. But anyway, we're going to have the grand meal. And then, so here is Zechariah, and we are going to have him and Genevieve actually get romantic this time. So they are good friends right now. And they are pretty close, and Constance has already kind of told him, like, no, you should move on with my sister. That's something, you should do that. Don't worry about me. And Genevieve has been spending some time with him over the course of a few years. And also, if you remember last time that they met, they were out on a date, and Jose, humiliated her on the date and she ran away. But Zechariah has come here and kind of telling her that it's okay and trying to comfort her, and she gets immediately a crush on him. So I think that she really appreciates that he came and did that for her. And then also, they have their first kiss, and things are going really well. And so he wants to be romantic partners. He's like, look, Genevieve, you're my future. Like, I want to do this. And so she accepts to be his romantic partner. And then they're just getting flirty and all of that stuff, and I want to get them engaged today. So he basically comforts her and is like, no one cares what rumors or what Jose says, and like, our families have been surrounded by a fair bit of drama already. Like, I don't believe in when people say things like about the situations and the scandals and stuff. So he is ready to get married to her. He totally still carries a torch for Constance, but he knows that he needs to move on, and that's just the way it is, So we're then going to head back to our household. So here back in our household, we are going to also do the Harvest Fest things. We're going to get a grand meal, except for some reason I had an issue with the kitchen. I don't know if this build was play tested or not, or if it's just me. My game has been weird lately, so I do have to like kind of fix the kitchen a bit to make sure I can actually cook a meal in it, which is really frustrating, but just something that goes on in this game, right? So we're going to keep trying until we can finally figure it out. I don't really know what the problem was because everything is within, like, he can walk to all of these things. So I don't really know what the deal is, but it's fine. I'm going to fix the kitchen. We're having the family all together. I think that Luke really is trying to focus more on his family, especially after his dalliances with Marie. He keeps thinking about Marie and keeps thinking about what his life could have been like if he did decide to marry her instead, but that's not really, productive thinking. And so he's like, you got to stop thinking about her. You got to focus on your wife and your baby and all of that. So he definitely is, trying to turn the corner here, trying to not think about Marie. He's like, got to focus more on his wife and his daughter. And neither him nor Marie know that the baby she is pregnant with is his baby, right? Like, they don't know that because I am assuming she's still woohooing with her husband too at the same time, and there's no DNA testing at this time. So, and it's not like they all look that different. So anyway, we have these two woohooing, having a good time, trying to work on their relationship, but Luke is really thinking about his dreams, and he's thinking about the fact that he has, had a hard time with getting Sophronia to be on board with his desires and his dreams. And so while he is trying to put a lot of this effort in, I think she is seeing that, and she is also thinking like, well, what can we do? Like, what can we compromise here? Look how low their romance got. Like, they just are always like arguing with each other. But yeah, so they're really definitely thinking about what their options are and stuff like that. And so Nicholas is like, you know what? I'm going to ask Constance. I'm going to ask Constance to look into the future and tell me what to do. I understand. I'm looking around this house for like the first time, and I'm realizing that quite a few things are too modern in this house, but we're going to ignore that for now. So yeah, we're going to invite Constance over, even though we're not going to be able to see her for the whole time, of course, because the game hates me like that. And for some reason, you like can't, like I can't click play a game with Constance. Is it because she's a ghost? I don't know. But here she is. You can kind of see the foaming at the mouth. But yeah, so they're here and he's talking to Constance and he's like, Constance, please, like my marriage has really struggled for some time and I just want to know, like, what can I do? What does the future look like? And so I want to also, like, Constance is not all knowing. Like, she doesn't know that he woohooed with Marie. Like, she doesn't know that. So specifically, he's asking her about his aspirations, his dreams, his focus on archaeology and stuff. And so that's what she's going to be looking at. She's not going to look and see that he cheated on his wife. She's going to look to see what he can do about fulfilling his dream while remaining married to his wife. So they bring Sophronia over and Constance talks to them both. She does a reading, and basically what she says is like, look, if you can tough it out for a few years, you will become such a renowned archaeologist that people will just send you relics and stuff. You won't have to go exploring all the time. And so if you feel like you can get some of your exploring time out of the way in the next couple of years, then just stay home and do research and stuff, then that could be a good compromise for you too, and that would work. That would work for you guys, is if you can just tough it out for a little bit, then commit to staying home. And so Luke and Sophronia have this conversation with each other where they're like, okay, well, can we do that? And Luke is just like, look, I really feel like this is my calling. I really feel like I need to do this. And I know that it's hard right now when we have a young child at home. And so if before we fill up this household with babies, like if you could just be on my side here. I promise that I'll make it worth it. Like I'm going to make our family well renowned. I'm going to, do all of these things to make us have a good reputation and a good family and lots of money. And I promise to take care of you and our children. And so he's making all these promises, whereas like, please, like, can we go with that? Please just like for 1 or 2 years, just let me travel. And so she finally caves and she's like, you know what? Okay, like I understand you have a dream and I want you to pursue it and I want, you to not resent me for that. So she does agree to let him go. So he's going to head out right now and we're going to have him spend, the 3 months, whatever a day is. Maybe it'd be more like, 4 because I keep him here for a little over a day. But, so he finally gets the opportunity to come and explore. So here he is. He has come. He's going into town early in the morning. He's probably jet lagged, so he's not able to sleep through the night. Although he can't be, I guess, can you get jet lagged if you have to go somewhere like on a boat? I don't know. Maybe that's a silly thing to say. But anyway, so he's going to just, come here, be here early in the morning. He's excited to get going. He meets some of the locals. He buys some supplies. And he is, has some local food and then he heads out to the jungle. He is ready to go. So he is going to come here and, read all the sign postings about like the dangers of the jungle and everything. And so here he goes in here. And luckily we do have some pretty good logic skills. So we can go through that. He finds his first dig pile. So he's excited about that and he is ready to get started. He's ready to put what he knows into practice. He sets up a little excavation site and he's like, oh, okay, like here I go. Like, gotta be careful. Don't want to break anything. Like he's being very, very excited about it. I think that he does wish that he had company on this. I think he really is thinking like, oh, it'd be so nice if someone was here with me. But he knows that Sophronia won't agree to go, so he's kind of bumming about that. But what you gonna do? So he is going to come around here and explore a bit, explore the different areas, and see where we can go from there. So here he is just excavating. He needs to excavate 3 dig piles and then uncover an artifact, but of course we'll save the uncovering artifacts for when we get back home. We're just focusing on gathering things right now and we'll do some research on them back when we are able to come home after that. So he's just exploring and there's nothing really on this section. So we're going to head back through and then actually the temple is open right now, which is really exciting. So we're going to go to the temple and Here he is, and so we're gonna go through these dig piles, and he has found something really cool here. He's very excited. He's like, wow, like, here's some ruins. And of course, there are other people around, like other adventurers, other tourists, other people who live here, all that stuff. So like it's not like he's discovering something new for the first time. He is just one of many people who is trying to explore and stuff. And so he goes into the temple, and of course there are other people around, but he is like, I'm going to spend all my time and energy really looking deeply into this. And of course we're already like almost done with the day that we said we were going to spend here, so I'm going to extend the time a little bit. But yeah, so he's really taking care and being very deliberate, looking at everything, trying to unlock different doors and stuff. And then our baby with Marie is born, and the baby does survive. We're going to name him Elias. So he is going to get his pretend father's last name. But yeah, so then of course I'm going to try to update the spreadsheet because I always forget, always. And then we are going to add him in here. And then I do have to make them partners in order for them to have a child together, which I think is interesting. I don't really like that, but anyway, that's fine. So here we are, and we're going to go down into the dark and, explore some more. He's doing a good job. He notices as he goes through, there's less and less people. Like, yeah, there's still a couple people around, but he's noticing that, better and better, and he accidentally activates a few traps, but overall he's doing okay. So then we are already down into here, which is just like wild to me that we're able to clear this temple so quickly. But it's probably because he has very high logic skill that he is able to examine a lot of this stuff. So he's going through and checking out everything, and he actually ends up in a place where other people aren't, where there aren't really a lot of people exploring this area, and so he's able to kind of find a door that no one else has found. So he ends up through here, and he finds a cool treasure chest and everything, and he spent months now at this point, because each sim day is 3 months, so he spent months exploring this temple. And so I forgot about that. Apparently, Vlad V is getting married to Miguel Domino. Good for them. But yeah, so he finally finds like a little room with the treasure, and though he knows that there's so much more to explore, he's like, okay, I have to start heading home because I did promise that I wasn't going to be away for too long. I can always come back next year. Like, he needs to keep in mind the compromise that these two are having. So he comes home and he's so excited to see Sophronia, and you know what? She's pregnant. So one of those woohoos before we left got her pregnant, which is so exciting. He comes home to a pregnant wife in her second trimester, very excited about it. He's excited about having another child. He's excited about uncovering some artifacts. He immediately gets to work on, uncovering and authenticating and all this stuff, like looking through these artifacts and trying to understand what they are and, doing his research and everything. And he's super excited about that. And he's so happy about having another child. And Sophronia is so happy to have him back. And they, it worked out pretty well this time. So they're both excited about that. And so we are going to do some birthday stuff now. So birthdays, we have Isabella Larkin becoming an infant, Miles Hobart II becoming a teenager, Gilbert Whitehead becoming a young adult, Clarice Brigg becoming a young adult, Zachariah Venian becoming a young adult, and William de Mohun IV becoming a toddler. We also had Miguel Domino and Vlad V Stroud get married, and then also Gilbert Whitehead and Charlotte Schwartz get married. So we have had a pretty eventful year, I think. Next year, let's see what's going on next year. Both of our Elias and Isabella are aging up. Oh, Genevieve and Gwen are aging up, and so is Magdalena. So that is all very scary. And then also we're going to have another baby, obviously, next year. So that is also very exciting. So we're doing good, I think. Everyone is kind of on the right track, but of course there's that huge secret that he woohooed with Marie that is going to hang over us. So we'll see what happens with that, because I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do nothing with it. So I hope you guys are excited, and I'll catch you in the next one.